All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the live stream, and the court is calling Nicholas Towns, case number 204943351. Nicholas Walter Towns. The charge is no insurance, and count two of that same ticket is no operator's license on person. This is the date and time for trial. Will Mr. Nicholas Towns, if you are in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Walter Towns.
Thank you, Mr. Towns. And the court is also calling Akai Anderson. And the case number is SP 110-60631. Akai Annette Anderson. Is Akai Annette Anderson in the virtual courtroom? If so, please say your name for the record. All right. I think we lost Akai Annette Anderson. Who is representing Mr. Towns?
Ali Shado, P77614 on behalf of Mr. Nicholas Towns and Miss Akai Anderson.
Thank you. And Mr. Cheeto, how do you wish to proceed, sir?
Your Honor, for Mr. Nicholas Anderson, we're moving to dismiss per the plea recommendation. And for Miss Akai Anderson,
It's Nicholas Towns. My last name Towns.
Towns.
Thank you, Mr. Towns. We got you.
And for Miss Akai Anderson, we're moving to dismiss. Officer failed to appear.
All right. And for Miss Anderson, the court will dismiss for the reason that there is no officer. That dismissal is without prejudice for lack of a complaining witness. And for Mr. Nicholas Towns, your matters are dismissed, sir, pursuant to the prosecutor's recommendation. If there are no questions, does Mr. Towns have any mandatory fees, Madam Clerk?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then you may disconnect, sir, from the hearing. And the court
thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. The court is calling DeMarco Adams. DeMarco Adams, case number SP 10036411. DeMarco Martez Adams, the charge is driving on a suspended license. That's a repeat offender charge. Count two of that same ticket, no insurance. And count three, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. Also SP 10058831, driving while license suspended. Count two of that same ticket, improper plates. And count three, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. SP 1064231, same defendant, driving while unlicensed. SP 1081581, same defendant, no insurance. Count two of that same ticket, open alcohol and motor vehicle driver. SP 3473131, driving while unlicensed. SP 3688391, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count two of that same ticket, no insurance. Count three of that same ticket, improper license. SP 4267801, same defendant, no operator's license on person. SP 107-32662, same defendant, defective brake lights. If Mr. DeMarco Martez Adams is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
DeMarco Adams.
Thank you. Who's representing Mr. Adams?
Ali Shado, P77614 on behalf of Mr. Adams.
Mr. Cheeto, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Adams, did you hear the plea recommendation from the prosecutor?
Yes, for the one ticket.
Yes. Did you want to accept that offer?
I accept that offer.
Okay. So Mr. Adams would like to accept the plea recommendation from the city prosecutor.
All right, sir. And that has Mr. Adams pleading to the ticket ending in 473-131, and that ticket is driving while unlicensed. Mr. Adams, you've heard the representation of your lawyer and indicated, sir, that you wish to plead guilty to this charge. Were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes.
And Mr. Adams, you know, sir, that if you were to have a trial, it would normally take place in person in the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Adams, did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights today, sir?
Yes.
Did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
I am.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
And so you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be waiving your right to a trial. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, knowing that you're waiving your right to a trial, you wish to go forward with a guilty plea.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, ma'am.
You may lower your hand, sir, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 473-131. Were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you stopped by a police officer who asked you for a valid driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to show that officer a valid driver's license?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Cheetah, are you satisfied, sir?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. We will also accept the recommendation to dismiss SP 106-4231 pursuant to the prosecutor's recommendation. All other matters previously read into the record are dismissed for the reason that the complaining witness in each of the other matters remaining has failed to appear. So those matters are being dismissed without prejudice for lack of a complaining witness. Madam Clerk, do you have a total for Mr. Adams today?
Anna, can Mr. Adams call the courtroom for his total, please?
All right, Mr. Adams, would you do that, sir? Just the clerk requests that you call the courtroom and get your total.
Can I get that? Can I get that phone number, please?
965. Oh, go ahead, Madam Clerk.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. 313-965-24. Are you writing it down, Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, 313-965-2405.
Now on my other tickets, if you don't mind me asking,
Call the
is there
courtroom.
is there any other tickets left, or?
I don't know, but you may have, even though those tickets are being dismissed, some of them may have a mandatory reinstatement fee. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, that for some tickets, for certain charges, the Secretary of State requires a mandatory reinstatement fee, whether the ticket is dismissed or not. So I can't tell you what those are, but because you have so many, Mr. Adams, the clerk needs to calculate that for you.
Okay, but as far as through the 36th District Court, there's no.
I don't know, you'll need to check on the website or ask the clerk when you call.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, thank you. You may disconnect from the hearing. And Corporal Jamie McCree, if you're still connected, sir, you may also disconnect. And the court is calling. You're welcome. Court is calling Alexis Allen. The court is calling Alexis Allen, and that case number is SP 111-42842 Alexis Samuel Allen, failure to tarp load. Count 3 of that same ticket. No operator's license on person. Also SP 111-42922. Same defendant, improper plates. And count 3 of that same ticket, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count 3 of that same ticket. No, I'm sorry. Yes, count 3 of that same ticket. Driving unregistered or untitled vehicle. Okay, I think that's all for Mr. Alexis Allen. 1, 2, 3, 4 matters for Alexis Samuel Allen. If Alexis Samuel Allen is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Alexis Samuel Rossi Bell Allen.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
What?
Thank you. Who's representing Mr. Allen?
Ali Cheeto on behalf of Mr. Alexis Allen,
Thank you.
P77614, sorry.
All right, sir. How do you wish to proceed with Mr. Allen?
Mr. Allen would like to take advantage of the plea recommendation.
Not really.
Which is?
Not really.
You don't want to plead, Mr. Allen?
Because
You want your trial, sir? You don't have to tell me, but today is the date and time for trial.
I know that, ma'am. It's just like he said I'm gonna get 2 points from not having a
Mr.
tarp when I
Allen.
had
I
the
can't
thing-
listen. If you're not going to plead, sir, then we have to have the trial. I don't have anything to do with points. Your officer is still on
No.
leave.
See, my question to you, Your Honor, can I just say one thing? Just one thing. I've been fighting to get my license. I never applied for license in my life. I came home from prison. I had to pay driver responsibility fee for no reason. I paid it. And they saying that I have to go through this process. I got 1 receiving stolen motor vehicle and I got a drug charge that has nothing to do with driving. They say you got to have 2 or more driving felonies to go see a panel with judges or judge administrator. I don't have that. Even officers, even certain precincts, they don't understand why I'm not able to get my license. I paid a lawyer. She just took my money. And I'm like, I'm paying. I wouldn't do community service. I got my own business. I do hauling and clean out. I'm ready to
Mr.
do.
Allen, let me help you with this.
Please, somebody help me get my
Let me help you
license.
with this.
Okay.
Everything that you've said, I can't do anything about until and unless you are pleading guilty. And in order to plead guilty, sir, you must be able to tell me that you did in fact do what you are being charged with. Otherwise, I cannot accept a guilty plea from someone who tells me they are not guilty. That is why we give you the benefit of counsel. We let you talk to a lawyer because I cannot give you legal advice. The prosecutor says that he will speak to you in a breakout room. So why don't you just wait and you and the prosecutor and the lawyer that is court appointed for you can discuss this. I can't discuss these issues with you. I can't.
Okay.
All right. So just hang on, Mr. Allen, and we'll come back to you.
Well, I can't. I just have to go. I got to continue the trial because
Mr. Allen, okay, just hang on. Hang on.
I'm to my wits end, man.
Okay,
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Allen, please mute yourself. Mute
Man.
yourself. Okay.
It's not
And the
fair.
court is calling Marcus Valadius Allen. Is Marcus Valadius Allen ready? Mr. Cheeto.
He is, Your Honor.
Okay. Court is calling Marcus Valadius Allen. The case number is U583-87220. Marcus Valadius Allen, and the charge is disorderly conduct. Today is the date and time for trial. Is Marcus Valadius Allen in the virtual courtroom? If so, please identify yourself by saying your name for the record.
Mr. Allen, you're going to have to press *6 to unmute. Mr. Marcus Allen, you're gonna have to press *6 to unmute.
Your name for the
Yes,
record, Miss. Thank
My
you.
name is Marcus Allen.
Thank you,
Marcus
Mr.
Allen.
Allen. Are you able to connect with your video?
No, ma'am.
Are you on a landline?
Yeah, I'm just on a regular line.
All right, sir. And for the record, the police officer for this matter is in the virtual courtroom. Your appearance, please, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing? I'm Officer B. Lawrence, Badge 401, Transit Police.
Thank you, Officer Lawrence. And for the record, who is representing Mr. Allen?
Ali Cheeto, P77614 on behalf of Mr. Allen.
Mr. Cheeto, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Allen stated that he'd like to take advantage of the plea recommendation, which is to plead guilty to disorderly conduct under a delayed sentence for 3 months.
All right. Is Mr. Allen going to be able to make out a factual basis for the plea? That means Mr. Allen will have to tell me that he did in fact do what he is being charged with. Is he going to be able to tell me that?
So I didn't have the ticket in front of me. There might be some difficulty with him making a factual.
Madam Clerk, you have the ticket for Mr. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the charge?
Consuming alcohol while on the bus, Coors Light.
And Officer Lawrence, is that what was happening, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Mr. Allen going to be able to admit that he did that?
Can I
Mr.
speak to that, ma'am?
Well, listen, Mr. Allen, if you can admit that you did it, then I'm going to have a trial because I have to have a factual basis. The prosecutor has recommended an amendment to disorderly conduct, but in order to get to that point, I have to have your admission that what you did is what you are accused of.
Okay.
Do you need to go into a breakout room, sir? You need further discussion?
Well, I accept that, ma'am. I was trying to. It's not high. It's not
You
what
can
it was.
tell me if you want to be heard.
Yes.
I can allow you to do that, but
Yes.
first, but you cannot tell me that you didn't do this. Because if you tell me that, I can't take your guilty plea. You understand that, right? You don't want a judge to take your plea of guilty to something you tell the judge you did not do. That wouldn't be justice, would it?
It wouldn't be.
So I'm not able to do that. So you're going to have to be able to tell me you did what you're accused of doing, or we're going to have a trial. And once we have a trial, I don't think I don't know whether the prosecutor is going to keep that offer open. I have no idea. Mr. Allen, what are we going to do, sir? We're on the live stream. We are on the live stream.
All right. I plead guilty to that, ma'am.
Mr. Cheeto, are you ready to proceed with Mr. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you advising him to go forward?
I actually advised him not to go forward, Your Honor.
You advised him not to?
No.
Is that because he cannot make a factual basis? Gentlemen, I'm going to exit the live stream because this conversation I don't think is ready for the live stream. Let's see, do we have anyone else who is ready, Mr. Cheeto, before I exit?
No, Your Honor.
Alexis Allen, what about Alexis Allen?
Oh, he needs to speak with the prosecutor.
Okay, so Alexis Allen and Marcus Allen need to speak